So what I want to do is give you the plain and simple version of what I do, what it could mean to you, and the major benefits of this program. Basically, when it comes down to it, if you've done any of the training programs that are out there, any of the self-improvement, personal growth and development training programs, the Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, any of the other training programs like Landmark Education, Silva Mind Control, all of those types of things, you really know now that in our whole consciousness, we only are conscious of 5% of it. It's like the iceberg. What you see it coming out of the water is only a small portion of what's actually moving us in our lives. That 95% of the unconscious subconscious has been programmed into us, programmed by our parents, and as we talked about, from birth to 6 years old, and really in the womb also, from birth to 6 years old, and then from 5, 6 to 19, 20 years old. That makeup, that programming is what's going to control your life. Now, the old paradigm, what I consider the old paradigm that they're actually still using now, was that what we need to do is to control our thoughts. Control your thoughts, control your life. It's also been said that as you believe, it is done unto you. It's also been said that you are what you think about all day long. Well, the problem with all of that is, how do you control it? And this new program, this new, what I call a protocol that came through me, and I used it for 3 full days and overcame 14 years of chronic pain due to 2 car accidents, 8 surgeries in 8 years, and overcame my negative programming myself personally. If you know about that, you know that my father was an alcoholic. I came from a family of 9. There was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of negative programming, lack and limitation, and all of that type of thing. I looked for 40 years to find a product that would be able to go into your unconscious, subconscious, and really clear, eliminate, neutralize, but clear, remove, and replace the negative programming that you have. All of it. And that's what this new program does. The SM3 Ultimate Success Program. In phase 1, we eliminate and neutralize your negative beliefs and negative self-judgments. In phase 2, what we do is, because all of that has been eliminated, we look at what is really your purpose in life. What do you really want to do? How do you want your life to be? In phase 3, we actually reprogram the unconscious subconscious to match what you want from your adult perspective, instead of what's been implanted into you from your parents and your siblings and your aunts and uncles and grandparents, whoever was around you in those first 20 years of growing up. In phase 4 is really for professional salespeople. And for you entrepreneurs out there, and for you that really know, you're selling yourself and selling your ideas almost every day. So how can you do that more as a consultant rather than as a used car salesperson? Phase 5 is in regards to your marketing, how to actually brand yourself, market yourself, and strategies for bringing in more business. The next phase actually goes into, that's phase 6, goes into management, so specific management. So if you're a manager, again, if you're an entrepreneur, whether you're managing just yourself or you're managing a group of people or you're a team leader of a group of salespeople, in phase 6, basically we go through the management principles, and these are principles from Fortune 500 companies. So planning, organizing, delegating, controlling, creative thinking. All the things that you need to do to be successful as a manager, including executive abilities, including stress release, how to actually work with other people, and how to see the mucked upness in other people and help them transform it. so they're more successful. And then in phase 7, that's really the spiritual side of success, where we get into meditation, how to program your unconscious, subconscious even more. And I have advanced programs in all of that. Okay? So the main things that we do in each program is this. So this program is for you if you're already successful and you just want to sharpen your edge, remove any blocks that are blocking you from even greater success, greater income, and greater happiness. This program is also for you if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you're experiencing negative things in your life on a consistent basis, those are the things that we can actually go into and remove and replace with their polar opposite positive. This program is also for you if you know that there is something holding you back, yet you just don't know what it is. This program is also for you if you had a troubled past and you want the bad memories to stop haunting you. So basically what we're doing is, again, with those memories, I've had clients that had bad memories for 25 years and it bothered him every day, and we were able to remove it totally where he couldn't even remember what the memory was. Okay, that's pretty neat, huh? This program is also for you if you have it all, yet you're still unhappy and unsatisfied. This program is also for you if something happened to you in the past and you want to get rid of it, or if there's some person, male or female, that you want to stop bothering you in your mind. In many cases for police officers or for the military, it's a specific situation that happened to them that's just stuck in their mind. And again, we get rid of it. This program is also for you if you know that you're passing on your programming to your children. One of the interesting things that we found is that we can even remove ancestral programming, curses, and those types of things from children right now, so they will have a better life. So the other aspect of it is that there's things that you would know personally what would benefit you. So some of the benefits are increased business and income. Benefits also are increased happiness and well-being. There's also more control over your future. You have better relationships with others, with your family, friends, and associates. The other benefit is that you have greater peace of mind. In many cases, a major benefit for clients are that nagging ailments just go away. Another great benefit is that you have more positive thoughts, so you have better feelings, you're happier on a day-to-day basis, and you project that happiness to others. Another benefit is that you have better relationships with your inner self, with spirit, with God. Another benefit is you overcome anger, fear, worry, anxiety, hopelessness, helplessness, any guilt or shame that you have from past happenings, or any negative situations that you might have had with relations like ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-partners, ex-business associates, things that have happened to you or that have happened with you. All of those can actually be removed now and replaced with their polar opposite positive. Now, how neat is that? So basically what we do is we're able to go in and reprogram our unconscious, subconscious, the moving force in each of our lives, and reprogram that to how you want it, how you want to experience the rest of your life, okay? And let's go into the nuts and bolts of how we do that. So my question is this: what are the three main things that you would like to gain from the program? Is it overcoming your past, overcoming past bad memories? Is it reprogramming your unconscious, subconscious for the future that you decide? What are really, if you had to pick three, what would be the main things that you would like to pick? Okay? So just put those in your mind or write them down. And my secondary question is, if you were able to accomplish those main things, if you were able to get rid of your past programming, if you were able to reprogram your unconscious, subconscious programming, what would that mean to you, your family, your business, and your associates? Really, what would it mean? Would it mean greater income? Would it mean, if you got greater income, you could spend less time at work, right? Because you can do one of two things to increase income. Either work, Either work longer or work smarter. So in overcoming the past programming, basically we're working tons smarter, because what we're doing is we're getting our unconscious, subconscious to work with us to do what we want it to do. What would it mean to your family, to your friends? What would it mean to your kids if you were able to overcome the programming that you've already placed into them? What would happen in their future? I think it would be much brighter. So let's take a look at the program. In phase one, what we do is we remove, replace, and transform your unconscious, subconscious negative programming. So that includes negative programming, negative beliefs, negative self-judgments, negative dramas, traumas, any triggers to anger, fear, worry, anxiety, hopelessness, helplessness, guilt and shame, and more. In phase two, because all of the negatives are replaced in your unconscious, subconscious, what we're looking to do is to really realize that whatever you really want to do in your life, you can do. So what would that be? If you knew that you could be successful in anything that you did, if I was a genie next to you and we were working on this program and I said, whatever you want is my command, what would you really want to have happen? What would you want in business? What would you want in your family life? What would you want in your community? What would you want as far as self-improvement? What would you want as far as your spiritual development? What would you want in romance, income, business? What is really the perfect picture? So when we look at the perfect picture, then the question is, how are we going to make that perfect picture happen? What is the how-to of doing what you need to do to make that perfect picture happen? And then in phase three, what we do is we take those elements in phase two and we reprogram your unconscious, subconscious to see, know, feel, and believe that that perfect picture is already happening, because that's how the unconscious, subconscious thinks. Everything is now. There is no future, and there is no past, really, and there is no future. It all happens in now. So when we reprogram the unconscious, subconscious in your perfect picture, not mine, not your parents, but your perfect picture, we're programming it so it actually works on attaining those goals and objectives, but in a perfect picture. Not saying this will happen, but seeing it as this is what's happening. And there's verses in the Bible that actually go through this as far as realizing that what you wish for is already happening. okay? And in that phase, we're also increasing the power of your thoughts while we're doing that. So you have your unconscious, subconscious working for you. Your thoughts are already more positive because that's where your thoughts come from, is your unconscious, subconscious. That's how your world is colored. So again, in doing those three things, wiping out the negative part, replanting it with the polar opposite positive, deciding what you want to have happen, then reprogramming it to happen, what's going to happen? It's going to happen the way you want it to, right? And then in phase 4, we have specific salesmanship, and that's really more for the professional salespeople, those who are in multi-level marketing, in being an entrepreneur, selling yourself, selling your ideas, but doing it in such a way where the sale is a natural progression of fulfilling the needs of the client, okay? And then in phase 5, what we look at is for your business and for yourself, how do you brand it? How do you market it? How do you use social media? What are the strategies that you're going to use to gain more business? And then in phase 6, that's specific management. That's professional management. So even if you have just your own business, you're going to manage others. How do you actually organize your business? What are the key result areas? What are the job result descriptions? Do you have those in writing? How do you have the business structured? Right? What about planning, organizing, delegating, controlling, creative thinking? All of those things we go into in phase 6. Phase 7 is the spiritual side of success. How do you go into meditation? How do you go into alpha theta thinking and reprogram your mind on a day-to-day basis? If shit happens and you get stuck in something, how do you get yourself unstuck? Okay? How do you have a better relationship with your inner self? How do you have a better relationship with God and the Holy Spirit? Right? How do you have a better relationship on the spiritual side with friends, family, relatives, associates? How do you do that? We go into all of that. Okay? So let's take a look at what the investment would be for you to invest in yourself to gain all of these great and wonderful benefits. So the investment in yourself, it's kind of interesting if you look at some of the old-time individuals that talked about self-improvement training like Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill. Basically, they said that the biggest return on investment that you can get in the world is investing in yourself. And I know that to be true. So the investment in yourself for this particular program, the SM3 Ultimate Success System, ranges from free training to a year's worth of training for $30,500, okay? So what's the difference? In the free training, basically what the free training is the Watch Your Thoughts exercise, parts 1 and part 2. With that Watch Your Thoughts exercise, basically you get a wristband and you do specific things to be able to watch your thoughts, and in watching your thoughts, some profound things happen, and then in part 2, some more profound things happen, all right? So if you're interested in that, you need to call and let us know. Now for the video training program, parts phases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, the video portions of that are $1,500 each. And the special that we're having right now is that if you buy the first 3 phases, which I would highly recommend, the cost is going to be, and the investment in yourself is going to be $2,500. Okay? Now the live things that I do range from $30,500 for a year's worth of training. And if you're interested in that, if you're in a high-end position, if you're a top producer, top executive, you're a CEO, a celebrity, that type of training I specialize and customize just for you. So you need to call me and talk about that. Now, typically, besides the 1 year training, I have an 8-week training program that we go through all 7 of the phases. But again, it's customized to you, and we normally do that 3 hours, 1 session a week over 8 weeks. And the investment in that is $10,500. Now, if you just want to overcome your negative beliefs, negative self-judgments, negative dramas, traumas, things that bother you from the past, that program is just a 4-week program. Again, 3 hours once a week over 4 weeks. And the investment in that is $6,500. Now, a special thing happened just a few months ago, mid-July. A special breakthrough happened when I was working and training with one of my clients. And now what we're able to do is go into an individual's unconscious, subconscious, and find hidden blocks to success, blocks to money, blocks to relationships, blocks to love, blocks to health, blocks to weight, blocks to the spiritual area, and remove them and replace them with their polar opposite positive. Now, the neat thing about that is that not only are we doing it for this life and the womb life, but for past lives, previous lives, all the way back to the birth of your soul, forward to this life, and then the future in our current life, the future in future lives, and the forever future. That whole block. And we're finding that as far as negative programming, negative beliefs, negative self-judgments, negative dramas, traumas, anger, fear, worry, anxiety, hopelessness, helplessness, guilt, and shame for that whole period, there can be between hundreds to thousands to millions of negative aspects of that. There can be curses, there can be negative energies and other things that if you're interested in that, in overcoming that, that's like to me the big enchilada in all of this. What we're doing right now, that investment is $3,500, and it's 2 3-hour sessions. And I'm amazed that we can do all that we can do in these 3-hour sessions. And the investment in that, instead of $3,500, is $2,500 for a limited time. Okay? So if that's of interest to you, that's very exciting to me because nobody else is doing this. If that's of interest to you personally, and the interesting thing is that we can delve into your children and see if there's any negative things happening with them, negative beliefs, negative self-judgments, negative dramas, traumas that have happened to them that are stuck in their unconscious, subconscious. And again, remove them, replace them, basically transform them. It's a very neat program. So again, my name's Tim Zimmerman. I'm the CEO and founder of SM3Success.com. I've been doing this for 40 years. I've been looking for this particular protocol to overcome my negative stuff, and all of the clients that we're working with have been able to overcome theirs. And the interesting thing is, if I take you on as a client, I guarantee results. So let's go ahead and take a look at what some of my clients have to say.
My name is Avi Darngor.
Hello, I'm Jillian Batchelor.
I'm Richard Lee.
Hi, my name is Michelle Stiles.
My name is Michael Bennett.
Hi, I'm Conrad Donovan.
Hi, this is Amber. I am with Tim Zimmerman.
Talk and realizing why I do the things that I do and what is the root of those things. And understanding that a lot of things that are completely not related to business actually at the end affect my business. So getting down to the root of those things and solving them and working through them in return improves the business, my mindset towards the business, my approach towards it, and my overall outlook on things. He can touch on all aspects of business. You need organizational stuff, he could do that. You need marketing, he could do that. You need therapy, you got it.
To increase my ranking amongst other agents in the city, and Tim helped me to push through that and push through the boundaries I was setting with myself, and helped me to achieve those goals and exceed those goals. And I'm very excited about this upcoming seminar with upon manifestation.
I decided to take the course, and within a couple of weeks, I got 3 times my investment back. And
he's been working with me, helping me align some of my thoughts, teaching me relaxation techniques, teaching me health techniques. It's been really fun. Tim's got a consummate reader, a consummate studier of so many things. I keep continually being overwhelmed by his knowledge of the human body, the human spirit, what motivates us, what doesn't motivate us, what works, what doesn't work. Of course, I'm as different as anybody, and I've even keyed into some of the things that make me quite uncomfortable, but you know, if we were just comfortable all the time, we'd just be the same old, same old.
In about 18 months, I started with this card here, and then quickly I had to change it and add a new card, and then double it, and then I actually tripled it when I redid my card again. So over 18 months I've had to up.
Actually working with Tony Robbins directly on his team back in the late 80s, early 90s. I've done a ton of something called landmark education, just a ton of what he would call, tell me what he did. And I looked at it a little bit deeper, and I have to say it's been very profound for me. His technique was able to kind of what I would call pull out from the roots what was really going on at a childhood level that wasn't obvious to me. It didn't take long to get there. It didn't take long to recreate that experience. And now I have something that I can work with that, you know, anytime I experience any type of conflict or any type of tension or just anything that I feel is not in alignment with my flow and my peace of mind, I can use this physical technique that he showed me, and it's really made a difference for me. So I'm looking forward to working with him more. I'm looking forward to experiencing more of what he has to offer, and this is just phase 1 of our working relationship.
So one of the benefits of working with Tim is that he actually starts working on the mental, on the aspect of what's going on in people's head, what are the roadblocks, and eliminating them before we even do anything else. Tools to decrease or eliminate the anxiety when it resurfaces, you know, in certain situations. And you know, being creative and driven when you're stressed at the same time is kind of having a foot on the accelerator and a foot on the brake at the same time.
And I wish I would have done it sooner, but it's never too late to improve and become a better person, become a better business person. I highly recommend it. I love it, and I want everybody to work with Tim, and I wish Tim all the best.
Goals and exceed those goals, and I'm very excited about this upcoming seminar with upon manifestation, and that's going to be.
I would recommend that you definitely take the course, even though it's a big financial and time investment. It'll definitely pay off, and it'll give you long-lasting results that a lot of the other programs out there might give you short-term results. But this one I've noticed will give you the long-term results that you probably want.
If you have an opportunity to work with Tim, don't hesitate to do so. Good people, good knowledge, a wealth of knowledge, and understanding the human challenges that we all face on.
I think Tim is a gem of the rough. He's an extraordinary trainer. He's someone that can really help people move through their limitations and their blocks. He takes kind of a spiritual Zen approach to what he does, and you know, I don't know that you can really put a price on how the impact of what he's going to do for you makes a difference long term. I'm looking forward to working with him more. I would encourage you to take a closer look at what he has to offer, and sign up for his classes, sign up for his courses, and you know, see how it can make a difference for you.
And you know, being creative and driven when you're stressed at the same time is kind of having a foot on the accelerator and a foot on the brake at the same time. You just wear out the mechanics. It's you either have to
all these positive changes in my life. Whether it was a new job, we were able to start thinking about, because of my transition in between my jobs, I was worried about money, and I had fears of whether or not I was going to be able to pay my bills at the end of the month. And through his training and his positive techniques and the way you think about things, I started to notice that everything kind of started to take a positive turn in my finances, in my social life, at work especially, and just a more positive way of life in general.
So what did you think about that? Are those some of the things that you would like to have happen for you? So just like Avi Dangor, he's a top producer. All that he really wanted was greater happiness in his life. And he got both. Greater happiness, less stress, more income, working with the clients that he really wanted to do. With Jillian Batchelor, the great thing about Jillian, I love Jillian, is that she went from 60 units in 1 year to 90 units, and she's in real estate, and now she's doing over 200 units a year. Now, the great thing about this training program is that once we eliminate and neutralize the negative and replace it with the positive, and I typically call it pulling weeds. So we see the garden of your mind and we pull the weeds. Now, when you were a kid, did you pull weeds? Probably, right? So what do you have to do with the weeds? You have to get it by the root, right? But you also have to get the seeds. So we take the seeds, put it in a bag, we grab the root by the roots, tear out the roots, right? That's eliminating and neutralizing everything. Put it in a bag, incinerate the bag, it goes poof. So it's never there. It doesn't bother you anymore. And then in the hole in the ground, we plant the polar opposite positive. Plant the positive thing that you want to grow and develop, and your unconscious, subconscious naturally grows what we put in its place. You can look at Michelle Stiles. When she went through the program, she actually had lofty goals. And she says in one of her other videos that she was able to attain those goals so quickly, she had to double those goals, double them again, and then triple them. And one of the interesting things with her is we actually manifested a man in her life. And she's still with him today. And she said, well, that puts a different term on manifestation because she has the perfect partner in her life. There's many clients that I've worked with gaining 50,000 in unknown profits. In other words, things that they weren't dealing with, all the way up to gaining 284,000 in 6 months by doing nothing different in their business. So my fulfillment is really coming from seeing all of my past clients, those top producers and executives, grow and develop and come into their own and really live the life of their dreams, of their perfect picture. Okay? So if this resonates with you, you need to give me a call. You can call me on my, the office cell is 702-748-3586. You can go to sm3success.com and look at many of the other videos. For instance, one of the things I normally talk about is with Richard Lee, who's a top executive in the Las Vegas market. He had something that bothered him for 25 years, and it bothered him every day. And I said, Richard, I want to teach you this protocol. Is there something that bothers you? And he said, yeah. Something bothered him every day, 25 years. I said, well, you can tell me what it is or not, because I've heard everything. And basically I have. And he said he didn't want to tell me, so we worked on the protocol. 10, 15 minutes later, I said, Richard, go back to what bothered you and make sure it doesn't bother you anymore. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, go to the thing that bothered you. We just did the protocol to overcome what bothered you. Go back to it and make sure it doesn't bother you anymore. He goes, what do you mean? And he's a buddy of mine. I'm like, Richard, go back to the shit that bothered you and make sure it doesn't bother you anymore. It's okay if it does, I just need to know where we are in the process. And he's like, what are you talking about? Basically, that memory was gone. The thing that bothered him was gone out of his unconscious subconscious. And that's what I call eliminating it from your unconscious subconscious. In many cases, we'll just neutralize it so you can stand in whatever the memory and refrain from having the negative impact to your emotions as a result of it. Traps and triggers, all of those things get removed. So again, if this resonates with you, give us a call. And again, if we take you on as a client, I guarantee your results, and I guarantee them in writing. So thanks again. Look forward to working with you.